Welcome back, my legends, and today we're going to discuss the new legend Seer and give kind of a trailer breakdown and also discuss how he might connect to the Apex legend. So let's begin. And so we're going to start with a bit of a trailer breakdown, even though it's not that long. Now this planet right here, we don't really know what planet this is. There are a few candidates. This could be the planet Tartarus, it could be the planet Boris, even the planet Nexus, or this planet here that somebody sent me telling me that this could be the planet Kraken, and next to it could be the moon Naga. We have no idea. I'm going to wait for the official lore confirmation what planet Seer's from. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is Seer's Birth. Now Seer's Birth is surrounded by this urban legend called the Moth in the Flame, and the short version of this story is that this moth wanted to help a blind princess find her beloved, but in exchange it wanted to be reincarnated as her first son, because apparently this moth was cursed by always being attracted to the thing that will most hurt him. And so the princess made a deal with the moth, and unfortunately the moth guided the princess towards the flame where she died and putting a curse in the kingdom. Now the story being real or not doesn't matter, but what happened is that this superstition was passed on from generation to generation, that people believed that when this meteor hit the moon at the same time this kid was born and had blue eyes, people thought that Seer/Obi was the reincarnation of this moth from the old folktale. And so because of this, people assumed that Seer was just bad luck, and if he looks at you with his eyes or if you interact with him, bad stuff will happen to you. So unfortunately it looks like he was an outcast on his planet. So he kind of has a bit of a Naruto kind of story vibe, but Seer did have his parents to raise him. His dad was a scientist and his mom looked like to be some kind of martial arts expert, and so it looks like Seer was influenced by a lot of different things: Naruto, Batman, Tony Stark, even Cyborg, and I'm guessing he got his fashion drip from Little Nas. And so that's basically Seer as a character and his background origin story. So how does he connect to the legends now? Well, we are going to start with Horizon, who said that she might know who created him.
I think I know who built you. Seems like a nice lad.
Now, this person that Horizon was referring to was called Miss Tobin. So I'm guessing Mr. and Miss Tobin are Seer's parents. That only makes the most sense to me, although it's just a theory for now. But the next two people we're going to talk about are Lifeline and Octane. Now, it looks like Octane is very familiar with this guy.
Wait a minute, I know this thing. I know it's that guy.
And it only makes sense because in Pathfinder's quest book, Lifeline's job as a kid was to entertain the other rich kids, which I am assuming Seer was part of those group of kids since his parents looked like they were rich and important. And so because of this, I think that Seer, Lifeline, and Octane has some kind of childhood connection, although for some reason Octane does not seem to like him. But going on to the next legend, Revenant. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that Revenant and Seer are going to be yin and yang. Revenant uses his powers for the dark while Seer will use his powers for the light, and honestly it makes sense because their powers are not based on like superstitions. It's actually technology that just looks like it's some kind of magic going on. But yeah, it looks like maybe Revenant and Seer are gonna have some connection to their powers. We'll see. And the last legend that's very interesting is that Rampart knows who this legend is. In fact, she calls him her boy.
Oh, my boy's coming. Game's ready to be kicked up a notch.
And this makes a lot of sense because we see in the last part of the cinematic that Seer was fighting in some kind of arena match. Now, this will make a whole lot of sense if this arena match was the gauntlet match that Rampart also participated and won. So this is how I think Seer and Rampart know each other. So the last thing I want to talk about is, what is Seer's purpose? What is the whole reason for him joining the games? Now, it's not very clear unlike the other legends, but my guess is that he wants to prove to the people at the Outlands that he's not the reincarnation of this cursed moth that's been plaguing him since he was a kid, and he wants people to accept him for who he is. Although for the Syndicate and Hammond Robotics, it will benefit them greatly if as soon as he joins the game, something bad will happen. And the legend of the boy that's cursed by the moth is real and is playing in the Apex games. But yeah, my legends, that's basically all the Seer lore we have. I'll see you all next time. Peace.